Hi, I'm Soman Chainani, author of the School for Good and Evil series, and I'm going to put some of your favorite fictional characters into the School for Good or the School for Evil. Let's do it. Percy Jackson I put in the School for Good. He's your classic underdog. He also has a difficult parental situation, which is sort of a hallmark of heroes, so definite School for Good. Luna is definitely good. I mean, she's always trying to do the right thing, and she's always a reliable source of good intentions. Her grasp on reality is a little tenuous, but that doesn't keep her out of the school. So Sunny, if I remember correctly, is a baby, and I know I don't like babies. Also, I'm pretty sure she bites, so that's two things that put her in the School for Evil for sure. Artemis Fowl is definitely evil. He'd be perfectly at home with all the other criminals and thieves in the evil castle. Charlie always follows the rules, which would put him in the School for Good, but I also find following the rules super annoying, so I would want to see what he would do in the School for Evil. So he'd be in good, but he'd be one of those that I'd accidentally trap in the School for Evil. So Katniss, I'm trying to find a reason to put her in the School for Evil because I think it'd be fun to have her in the School for Evil, but it's impossible. She does everything right, and she's always selfless, and she saves her sister, and it's so boring. But it's okay, we can put her in the School for Good. Harriet the Spy is like the most evil character in the history of the world. She doesn't respect any boundaries. She keeps track of everybody's secrets. She's sort of like me, and so I completely would have her in the School for Evil, and she would be my teacher's pet. So Nancy Drew is one of these super smart detectives, and I feel like she would do really well in the School for Good, because one of the things in the School for Good and Evil series is there's always a mystery to unfold, so we need her in the School for Good, sort of unsolving mysteries. So Susan is definitely good too. She's always following the rules, she always abides by convention, she never tries to stray outside the line, so that definitely puts her firmly in the Glass Castle of Good. Bilbo is definitely good, even under the most extreme stress, and no one suffers more stress than Bilbo Baggins. He always does what's right, especially in the end. Charlie Brown is definitely evil. He's always super gloomy, he's never in a good mood, and he's sort of like your classic henchman. You want him around to do your bidding, even though he might not really do it with any success. So with Mary Poppins, it depends, because if it's the Disney version of Mary Poppins, then she's definitely good because she's always bringing people together. But if you read the book version of Mary Poppins, she's actually like the worst human being in the entire world, so then she'd be in the School for Evil. So maybe we can have two Mary Poppins, one from the movie and one from the books in both schools, and they can fight against each other. So Dorothy represents what I find most evil in the entire universe, which is somebody that whines a lot and has an even whinier dog and doesn't do anything for herself and then blames the witch for everything. So definite School for Evil. I would put the wizard from The Wizard of Oz in the School for Evil just because of how arrogant he is and how self-serving and how he pretends to be good, which is often where people who pretend to be good often end up in the School for Evil. If I had to put Gru at the School for Good and Evil, I would actually separate him from his minions just to see what would happen. So I'd put Gru in the School for Good and all the minions in the School for Evil because I think that would be pretty awesome to have them apart from each other. So The Princess Bride is one of my favorite movies, and often because of Inigo Montoya, who is the ultimate good character because he has such an ironclad code of honor. So definite School for Good. So Flynn is your ultimate prince at the School for Good because he's so arrogant and such a showboat, but he's also too handsome or heroic to be in the School for Evil without causing a complete uproar, so we'll have to put him in the School for Good and see if he can survive. So Matilda does all kinds of evil things, but they're all in the service of injustice, which definitely puts her in the School for Good. Amelia Bedelia is one of my favorite characters of all time, and she's completely evil. She's chronically disruptive and unhelpful, and she relies on bribery to solve most of her problems.